All right, y'all, so welcome to episode number 2 of Starting from Scratch, where I'm showing my 20-year-old nephew how to build a successful real estate investing business. So in the first episode, if you haven't had a chance, make sure you go ahead and check that episode out. I'll be sure to link it in the cards up at the top. In that first episode, I really wanted him to think about his reason why. And I wanted to pre-frame his thinking so he can know what to expect when he comes into the business, when he starts his business up and he's running into hurdles in the business as well. In this video, what I wanted to do is start going through some of the groundwork, some of the nitty gritty in order to be able to help him start to get his business off the ground. So we're gonna focus on motivated sellers in this particular video. And there's 2 key things I'm gonna share with him in order to start finding leads right now in order to start getting these motivated sellers on the phone. So if you're brand new to real estate, make sure, number 1, you check out episode number 1, start pre-framing the way you think about business. But number 2, follow along in this video to start getting your business off the ground. Let's jump into this. All right, so the other day I was talking to you about setting goals and getting real clear on what you want. So what were some of the things that you came up with? Talk to me.
One thing I came up with was wanting to provide a better life, not even a better life. Make sure my family don't have to struggle. Like take care of my family, my girlfriend. And the second reason is make sure I don't have to work for anybody else again. I want to work for myself.
All right. So how committed are you to those goals, man? Because that's what it all boils down to, right? I did a video on YouTube that I released the other day on Saturday. And, you know, in that video, I was telling the audience the same thing I was telling you. Basically, you got to find a reason for doing it that's bigger than you. So you found a couple of reasons that's bigger than you. How committed are you to making that happen now?
100%.
100% committed. So you saying that on video? Because you know we were recording this, right? So I want you to see this, you know, in a few months or a year from now and say, yeah, I did what I said I was going to do. You know, that's one thing about me. If you're going to take anything from me or learn anything from me, you know, I was never a procrastinator, right? So I don't say something and not do it. If I say it, I'm going to do it. It's going to happen. I'm going to make it happen. I'm committing to myself to make that happen, right? So you got to do the same exact thing, man. You got to make a commitment today. Like, look, you might be a little scared. You know, you might feel like you can't do it, but that's why you have me here to show you how to do it the right way. Fortunately, because before, like with me personally, I didn't have a me. I didn't have somebody there showing me how to do it. Right. So I had to learn all of this, make a whole bunch of mistakes, lose money that I didn't have. Right. But I was committed to making it happen. Most people would give up. I never gave up. So that's one thing that you got to learn, man. I'm going to make sure is a streamlined process for you. Again, something else that I didn't have. But at the end of the day, you got to be committed to this, man, because it's not only your time, it's my time, too. Right. I'm putting time into this. Like I told you the other day, I'm gonna have you're gonna make investments into yourself, right? But so it's not gonna be free, right? But at the end of the day, you gotta be willing to put in that time, even when it get hard. That's why I said find something that's bigger than you, because when things get hard, you got a reason that you're doing it. You know exactly why you're doing it. So then that reason supersedes that hardness at the time that you're facing. You might be scared to talk to somebody on the phone. That reason why is bigger than that. You might be scared to go on a seller's appointment, to go get a contract signed, to, you know, collect an assignment contract from a buyer. All of that is going to pale in comparison to the reason why you're doing it. And it gets easier over time. Right. So I just want you to be mindful of that as we move forward. You know, so again, man, you just got to be committed to this. If you committed, you're going to be successful. If you're not committed, you're going to find something else, and then you're going to end up quitting that You're going to find something else. You're going to end up quitting that. You'd be better off working a job, working for somebody else, and let them tell you how much you could get paid. If you committed to anything, even if it's not real estate, right? If you're going to start a business, you got to be committed to the business. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. But is equally as hard to get up and go work for somebody else every day. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the way you got to look at it. Do I want to build for myself, or do I want to build somebody else's brand, somebody else's future, and make their life infinitely easier than my life? So that's the way you got to think about this, right? When it gets hard, you automatically think to yourself, is this hard, so hard that I can't do it? No, right? It's always the answer is always going to be a no. You can do anything as long as you put your mind to it. All right, anything. Don't let nobody ever tell you can't do something. I had people tell me I couldn't do certain things when I first started. You know, don't tell me what I can't do. You can't do it, because I could do whatever I want to do, right? And that's kind of the way you got to think. That's not kind of the way. That is the way you have to think. Don't let people instill their negative thoughts into the way you think, right? If they think it's hard for them. It's not hard for you. If they telling you they can't do it or you can't do that, that's not true. You can't do it. I could do it, right? And that's one thing I was always good at. Never letting nobody instill their thoughts into the way I think. So you, my nephew, I want to make sure you think the right way. That's the first thing, right? You got a reason why. Now your thought process has to match your reason why. So you got to be committed to this, all right? But so today, let's start getting into the nitty gritty. We're not going to spend too much time on the line. We really don't need that much time. I asked you before we jumped on the line what your budget was like. I'm not going to talk about that on the line, but for people that's watching this, if we decide to put this up on YouTube, basically you want to have around a $300 budget per month. You want to start off with about 1,000 leads. $300 to $500 is a good way to get started in the business. But we're going to talk about some ways that you don't necessarily need to spend a lot of money to get started, as long as you're consistent with what you're doing, with the time, with the things that you need to execute. Most people have trouble with being consistent. If you be consistent with it, that's how you're going to be able to get that first check coming. All right. So the first thing I want you to do, there's two things I'm going to have you do this week, and this is going to be on an ongoing basis. This is the bread and butter, whatever you want to name it, right? This is it. This is how you're going to be able to take your business, from nothing to something in a short period of time and scale it. All right. You got to be able to find leads, period. You got to be able to find motivated sellers, period. Where there's a seller, there's always going to be a buyer if the deal is right. I'm going to help you out later on. Once we start finding these leads, we start finding these deals, I'm going to help you as far as negotiating and making sure it's a good deal, but you got to be able to find them in the first place. So I want you to understand two things. There's two types of sellers. You got a financially distressed seller, meaning that maybe they got a house, they can't pay the mortgage on it. Maybe they got co-violations, they can't pay the bill. They got tax problems, they got problems, right? Financially distressed. Then you have physical distress. You have properties, real estate that needs work. You ever see a house that's boarded up? That's a physically distressed property. You ever see a house that has tall grass, nobody lives there? That's a physically distressed property. So those are going to be your two targets. All right. Physically distressed, financially distressed. Physically distressed properties are more obvious than financially distressed properties. You got to be able to talk to a seller to really find out what the financial distress is all about. Or we can simply pull those types of leads. We could pull co-violation leads. We could pull tax delinquents leads, stuff like that, right? Where we increase the chances of knowing that the person is in a financial distress situation. Physical distress, you could find that riding around your area, right? So that's exactly what we're going to do. Target two types of sellers, okay? And we're gonna do this. I'm gonna show you exactly how we're gonna do it. You're gonna get an account from my software, and in that software, I want you to pull your first 1,000 leads. All right. And once you pull that 1,000 leads, I want you to skip trace. I'm gonna show you exactly how to do it right within the software. Once you skip trace the leads, they're gonna send you a file back. You can get all this done in 10 minutes. Once they send you a file back, I want you to pick up the phone and start calling people. I'm gonna give you a script. I'm gonna give you a question sheet that you need to go down. And I want you to remember that if you can't get all of the information that you need from the seller, it's not a lead. You might call 1,000 people, but you might only get 50 leads out of it, right? So when you're calling them, I want you to go into it with a mindset of you're expecting people to say no versus say yes. Because if you look at it from a standpoint of them saying yes, then every time you hear a no, it's going to trigger negativity in your brain. So you go into it with an opposite effect. You want them, you want to go in with the expectation of them telling you no. So then you move on to the next person. So when you do get a yes, you know that you got to keep pressing forward. So your objective should be to get 50 no's a day, 5 days a week. That's a low number. I typically want to do 100, but I'm going to start you with 50 no's a day. And if you do get a yes, you start over from zero. So when you're calling, you might go through a lead list and it might be 40 no's. And the 41st one is yes. Then you got to start all over and get 50 no's. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes,
that's
sir.
Just a trick. That's just a little technique to trick your brain to get more leads. So you're expecting a no, not a yes. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So that's what I want you to do. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show you where to get the leads. And then we're going to talk about a second way that I want you to start finding leads as well. So I'm going to share my screen with you real quick. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up. So this is my platform. It's called Investor Deal Pro. As you can see, I'm logged into my account. When you log into your account, it's going to say, welcome your name, right? You're going to go over here to where it says lead pipes. You're going to go down to where it says property leads right here. You see this?
Yes, sir.
You can pull probate leads as well. All right. Commercial leads. You can pull all kinds of leads. Right. But let's stick to property leads. Then what I want you to do is type in your area. So you're going to do what you want to focus on. Harrisburg, maybe?
Yeah.
Harrisburg is a big enough area for you.
Yeah, all Harrisburg, right? Lancaster area.
Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Okay. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus on lead types. I want to focus on, let's say, absentee owners. When you start finding cash buyers, you know, once you start getting deals, we'll focus on that. You could pull tax delinquents, absentees. You could pull all of that high equity, low equity. Let's focus on absentee owners. And let's do individual. Okay. Under single family, what type of properties? We're going to deselect all of these. Matter of fact, we might want to even focus on multi, right? Let's do single family and multi. And let's click on done. And let's click on search to see what we come up with. And in Harrisburg, you see that we have 9,243 leads, right? So I want to narrow this down to about 1,000. So I'm just going to go back right here where it says absentee. Let's pull in delinquent tax activity. And you can see 575 leads, right? If I deselected that, let's just see. Let's go to free and clear. Let's see, that's looking like 1,900. I want to pull, let's see, foreclosures, 209. I want to pull, let's see, vacancy, some of my favorite leads, right? Let's do absentee owners and vacancy. I'm going to give this to you out of my account.
Okay.
But I want you to get your own account. All right.
Okay.
You're going to invest a little bit of money into this every month, but you got to have some skin in the game. I'm going to gift this to you out of my account though. All right.
Okay.
So you got 739 leads to work with. I like to see 1,000 out of it, but I think 739 is 3/4 of the way there. I think we could work with that. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on done. And the next thing I want to do, I want to click on select all. See this? Select the whole 739, and I want to add them to my leads right here by clicking my leads. So now you see where it says skip trace right here. So you can see we charge 10 cents per skip trace, right? So if I click on skip trace and I want to download it, I always want to select this, download CSV plus save to contacts. So that way it's automatically going to upload the skip trace leads into the system.
Okay.
Into your CRM. All right. We're going to click on next, and then you're going to click on next again. You're going to agree to this term. You're going to click on accept. I'm not going to do that. You're going to pay for it. All right. So you can see 739 leads. Let me show you how I got that again. So all I did was go to property leads. And once I save those leads, they're going to automatically show up. See save searches.
Yeah.
I save that search. So now I click on that. It loads the 739 leads. All right. I'm going to go to my leads. Right. I could download these leads right here. And then once I download them, I could always upload them into the system and skip trace them right here. But what I want you to do, rather than me downloading this, I want you to go into your own version of this system, Invest the Deal Pro. I'm going to send you a link to sign up. I want you to do exactly what I just did, right? I want you to search for the properties, right? Again, you did it, you saw how I did it, right? Search right here. Look for Harrisburg, right? Lead types, I want you to do absentees
and vacant.
And vacant. Individual, and then these property types. I want you to do single and multi-unit, right? And once you search for it, the leads come up. And then once you do that, typically you want to click on skip trace, click on download, click on next, click on next. Then you accept the terms and conditions, knowing that it's gonna charge you 10 cents per lead. So it's gonna cost about $74 to get these pulled. Now, generally, you're gonna get about a 70% take rate. So off of 70%, you might end up spending $50 total because 30% of them are not gonna be good. All right. So you figure off of 75 times 0.7, yeah, you might spend about $50 to $55 because some of these are they're just not going to be good leads. Okay. All right. So I want you to pull the leads. Once you pull the leads, you skip trace them. You saw exactly how to do it right here. Once you skip trace them, now you have data. Real estate lead generation is all about data, right? If you have data, then at the end of the day, you're going to be able to go far in this business because you'll be able to contact the sellers that you need to contact in order to be able to make the deals. All right. I'm also going to give you access to my scripts and my property information sheet so that you could use that when you're calling these sellers. And I just want you to start going down. And remember, the object is to get no's, right? If you get a yes, then you start from zero. Let's make it easier for you. Let's get 25 no's a day.
Okay.
25 no's. All right. If that's coming too quick, we're going to make the adjustment. I said 50 at first. Let's go with 25 a day, right? If you get a yes within that 25, start from zero and get 25 no's. That's the object with this. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to do with that. And the second thing I want you to do is I want you to focus on driving around, like pick 2 days a week. Okay. You drive around Harrisburg, pick certain neighborhoods right? I want you to drive the whole Harrisburg. I don't even want you to be picky, right? But pick certain areas where you know properties need a little bit of work, and I want you to drive those neighborhoods right now. And then as it gets harder to find properties, you start branching out into other areas. But for now, focus on inner city, Harrisburg. Pick certain areas, and I want you to find 25 houses a week. The houses have to look like that nobody lives there. They have to look like it needs some work on the outside. You're looking for evidence of vacancy. You're looking for evidence of physical distress. And when you do that, ultimately, I want you to find 25 of those a week. So this week, before our next call, find 25 properties.
Sure.
This week, your assignment is to pull the 1,000 leads, or I think it was 730 something leads,
39
out of my system. Right, I'm going to send you the scripts, and I want you to start picking up the phone and calling. All right, you're going to be scared. Don't worry about it. All right, I want you to at least get a feel for being on the phone with people. Okay, and maybe we'll do. I want you to try it out first, and then maybe on our next call we'll make some calls together so that you could get a general idea of how I would handle a conversation, so that you can hear it over and over and over again. But I want you to practice that script. Pull a lead, practice the script first. Practice it for like 3 days, and then pick up the phone and start calling people, okay? In addition to that, I want you to pick 2 days to drive around Harrisburg and find 25 houses. Pick 2 or 3 neighborhoods and just start driving those neighborhoods. All right. And I already explained what to look for. So that's your assignments for this week. It's Monday today. Let's try to knock this out before next Monday. All right. Okay. You got any questions?
Yes, not right now.
All right. Perfect, man. So I'm going to send you these leads, this link to sign up as well. And I want you to, and I'm also send you the scripts and everything that you need right now. All right.
Okay. Yes, sir.
All right, man. You need anything else?
Not at the moment, but if I do, I will let you know.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna holler at you later. All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, love you, man. Talk to you later.
I love you too. So everybody say hi.
All right, man. So there you have it. I taught my nephew Zadiq 2 different ways to start finding deals right now on a minimum budget. You got to think about it. He's only 20 years old. He doesn't have a lot of money. So I wanted to show him some inexpensive ways to start finding deals. And that's exactly what I did in this particular video. Homework assignment for you. Make sure you go out and do the same exact thing my nephew is doing in order to be able to start finding deals. I want you to go out there, pick an area, pick several areas in your local area, start driving around, finding properties that need some work. This is called driving for dollars. I'm gonna make sure I'll link a card up in the top so that you can go through my driving for dollars playlist as well. Make sure you start finding distressing real estate as soon as possible. And also use my Investor Deal Pro platform. I'm going to link a link for you in the description box so that you can get started using that platform as soon as possible. Another thing I want to throw at you is if you're looking for real estate coaching, I have a link in the description box so that you can get some real estate coaching from myself as well as my team members in order to be able to help you take your business from where you are to where you really want to go as a real estate investor as quickly as possible. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Look, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell. I'll see y'all on the next episode. Peace.